And as usual, I will invite you to please let's populate the platform. I bring to you very, very exciting and crucial, critical information that I would love every one of you, every Ambazonian out there, to take note. So please, as usual, go ahead, hit your share button and invite those who are not yet on the platform. Let them join. Let them join the platform. It is going to be one of those very, very critical and very exciting presentations. So please go ahead, invite every Ambazonian out there. Let's populate and let's populate this platform so I can come to you with the presentation. There is a lot, ladies and gentlemen, going on out there, and I shall be breaking down a lot of things to you tonight. But I come to you with two important critical issues. The plot in Bamenda, as you can find on your screen. The plot, the secret meetings that took place in Bamenda at the colonial governor's residence to exterminate all Ambazonian indigenous bikers, Okada riders in the city of Bamenda. And of course, I shall also be bringing you the response of this interim government to the announced so-called Reconstruction by French Cameroon. These are two very, very important issues that I shall be presenting or bringing to you today. But before I get there, please again, go ahead, you hit your share button the moment you give me 700 people. I will come to you with those two presentations, but for the moment, I will take some announcements or some updates, especially about the coronavirus. We want to believe that, first of all, let me say Happy Easter to all of you out there, fellow Ambazonians. In spite of what we go through, especially those of you on ground zero, on ground one, in the bushes, and of course, most especially to our restoration forces, Ambazonian restoration forces, I, on behalf of the interim government, wishes to say Happy Easter to all of you, even though there is really no reason to celebrate Easter in the human form that we have done over the years, of course, for obvious reasons. The war and the coronavirus that has kept everyone sitting at home. But we hope that Easter is not about festivities. It is about the relationship that the death and the resurrection of Christ brought to all of us. And so wherever that you are, whether in the bush, at home, confined or quarantined somewhere, you can still celebrate this Easter, remembering that Jesus died for a reason. We all are that reason. The death was meant to bring life and to bring us to a relationship, ladies and gentlemen, with Him. And as you stay where you are to to commemorate this period of Easter, just know that is the message. That is the message for Easter. Now, I want to take a few announcements, and again, please, I like the way these numbers are rising. I love the way they are rising. If you are just joining, please go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let us quickly populate this platform. And of course, at the end of the day, by His grace alone, I may be able to take your phone calls. But for the moment, as you join, please, on Facebook, go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead and hit your share button and bring in everybody out there. Now, the coronavirus. I just want to take this update about the coronavirus. We will love everyone Ambazonian on ground zero to know that this virus is not going anywhere yet. This virus is not going anywhere yet. And so we are advising everybody to continue taking the precautions that you have been taking to save yourselves, to prevent the virus from affecting you. So please, stay home. If you have to go out, keep a distance from others. We have asked that the markets in Bamenda, all over Ambazonia, be shut down. However, colonial authorities would not want you to shut down those markets. But we will have to ask you to choose between your life and colonial authorities with their instructions. You will have to choose whether to obey their instructions, go to the market, and who knows, perhaps get contracted with the virus, or stay at home and be sure you are free from the virus. The good thing so far, ladies and gentlemen, is no case has yet been reported in our territory. But we know what our enemies can do. Our enemies can literally transport or transfer that thing into our territory just to make sure that perhaps some of our restoration forces are killed through that, or some of you are killed through that. But we want you to take your own decisions. Do not wait for that damn government to want to take decisions for you. They came the other day and sprayed Bamenda, Commercial Avenue, the market and stuff. Then if a responsible government and a responsible administrator will explain to you in the public what exactly was a chemical they sprayed on the street and in the market, they will not as much as care to tell you what chemical they sprayed in that market and on that street. So we are asking you, if you love your life, this thing is not about the interim government. It is not about a lockdown. It is not about a ghost town. It is about securing yourself and your family from this virus. We have seen that this virus doesn't know the rich and the poor. This virus doesn't know the third and the first world, as they put it. This virus does not discriminate. This virus attacks anyone. You saw what happened in London, in the UK. The Prime Minister is still admitted in the hospital till now. He contracted the virus. It can affect anybody, and ladies and gentlemen, thousands have died. Thousands continue to die. Imagine New York. New York alone has lost over 7,000 people, and they are dying every day. Every day. We are appealing to all of you on ground zero. Please get a mask for yourself and also keep a distance away from others. We are encouraging churches and mosques and any public occasion, any public event, ceremonies to please be shut down for a moment. At least give the people, keep the people away from gathering in these churches and the mosques, any public place. That's why also this extends to the market. So please, this is not a matter of faith. I am a man of faith myself, but I will not say I am going out by faith. Of course, if I have to go out and buy something, I have to. But I observe all these rules. I stay away from populations, from crowds. I try to put on a mask. I try to wash my hands every time I am back home. These are the simple steps. The simple step that if you can respect, they may save your life. Do not say we don't have it yet. in Amazonia, you never know who has it until the test is conducted. The unfortunate thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that it would take even a month in that country for anyone to know, because the machines are not there. The equipment is not there to test like they do here in this country. In this country, I will go out there and get tested and I will know the result the same day or next day. But if it happens over there on ground zero, on ground one, you may never know. You may never know until you are really at a very, very critical stage. So please, protect yourself by staying away, by wearing a face mask, by washing your hands, keeping a distance from others. It is very, very, very important, and we trust that you will do so to save your own life and to save your own family. And one thing that we are encouraging every seamstress or tailor out there to do is, please, you got lots and lots and lots of fragments of clothing in your shops that you can use to produce some face masks that you can sell 100 francs, 200 francs to people to buy to cover their nostrils or their faces. So please, be a little creative by doing this. You may not realize how many lives you may be saving doing that, but it is something that we are encouraging. We are encouraging everybody to do so. Let's do that. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this goes to all our activists. I want to make a very, very special appeal to all the activists and all the surrogates out there. We have witnessed in the recent weeks a barrage of attacks in the social media. It is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, what the revolution is turning into with the activists. I want to make a special appeal. Can we tone it down? I know that many of you are provoked to say the things you say and to do the things that you do. But I am making an appeal to you today. I want to appeal to your consciences. Can we tone it down and focus why you are out there quarreling and attacking one another, fighting one another? La Republique is planning to end the war. Yes, La Republique is planning, strategizing how to end the war. But you are busy attacking one another. I know, ladies and gentlemen, there are people out there that will not listen to me and they will keep on attacking. Listen, some of you know that I am one of those who have been attacked the most. Dr. Sako is one of those attacked the most. I rarely come out here to spend time talking about some irrelevant people and irrelevant things that they say. I don't have to go that low. Let us focus on the issues that uplift our people and prosecute our revolution. As somebody said the other day, I think was comfort. When somebody say you are naked, say look at you with the empty lass. Does that mean that you are empty? Absolutely not. Does it hurt you? Does it put a wound on your body? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have heard people said, oh, Chris Anu's sister got 40 million that he collected from his brother, and she was, that's why she was arrested, that's why she's in Condengay. Do you think I have to go after those guys? They said Chris Anu collected $18,000. Do I have to go after that? There is a saying that you go to the stream and a madman comes to the stream, follows you to the stream and pick up your dresses and is running away, and you leave the stream naked running after the madman. You are equally mad. You are equally mad. What is going on out there, ladies and gentlemen, is activists who care less about this struggle, about independence for Amazonia. They forget about the revolution and they talk people, they talk personalities instead of talking issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to appeal to the rest of the activists out there. Let us come back. Let us go back to talking issues. Issues that promote our revolution. Issues that propel our revolution to the next level. That is what we should be doing. And I want to encourage and appeal to every surrogate. I don't care on what side you belong. I want to appeal to every surrogate and every activist out there. Please drop the name calling. Drop the name calling. Let us focus on La République du Cameroon. That is our common enemy. And I am not saying that we will not respond to legitimate questions on legitimate issues. Of course, we will when need be. But all this to and fro, you attack me, I attack you on the social media, my brothers and sisters, that is not helping us. That is not helping us. And let me say that if anybody is out there trying to discredit this interim government, hoping that Dr. Sako will resign, hoping that Chris Anu will leave, no, that is not going to happen. In fact, people like that are the very reasons why I will not leave. That is true. Because I know if I leave, if some of us leave within 2 days, this revolution will be sacrificed at the altar of French Cameroon for some federation or for some one and indivisible La République du Cameroon. So, no, we're not leaving. Let us fight our battle and get to Boya, establish our own democracy, and conduct elections. Let people who desire to be in power get there through the ballot box. Thank you very much. Please continue hitting your number, your share button. Now, very important, very, very important. I am hearing of some reconciliation efforts on ground zero between so-called ground zero fighters. Before I came to you live, I heard somebody mention that some groups are trying to conduct some reconciliation on ground zero between their forces on ground zero and other Amazonian restoration forces on ground zero. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a non-starter. That is a non-starter. And I know some of you out there will be saying, Chris, how can you say that? Yes, I have to say that because we know for sure that there are so-called leaders out there who would pretend to reconcile, but they will send their troops to go out and track down legitimate fighters, Amazonian restoration fighters, who are doing a great job on the ground for this revolution. Here is the thing. Anybody wants reconciliation, any leader wants reconciliation, any group wants reconciliation, it should start from the political level. Their political leaders should consult or reconcile with other political leaders. It is only there and then that we can talk about those forces on the ground collaborating or reconciling. Without political reconciliation, leadership reconciliation, there can be nothing like fighters reconciliation, because we do not want what happened in Guzang to happen again. We do not want what happened in Bui to happen again. We want our leaders to fight with their brothers, not as enemies, but as comrades. 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 Absolutely. So, forget about anything like reconciliation on the ground without political reconciliation. Now, also, the last thing I bring to you is this very important meeting, ABC Amba Club meeting that is coming up tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Amba time. If you are a member of ABC Amba Club and you have not yet received the link, or you are not yet subscribed to the ABC Amba WhatsApp forum. Amba WhatsApp forum, please. You will need the link to be able to attend the meeting, the Zoom meeting tomorrow. Again, let me make this very clear. That meeting tomorrow is not for everybody. The meeting is for ABC Amba Club members, registered members only. Those of you who are paying $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, and $100 a month, this meeting is for you. Those who are in the WhatsApp group already have the link for the meeting tomorrow. Again, if you have not yet sent in your phone number to be included in the WhatsApp group, please do so. You can send your number. Send your number to WhatsApp. Send that number to me. Text it to me by means of WhatsApp. The number is 603 +1 603 682 2687. Again, the number to text in your number and your name, please. Text in your number. That is assuming you are a member of ABC Club. We will have to cross-check because we don't want just anybody sending in his name to belong without registration. So you would have to be voted. And again, the number you have to text your number to is +1 603 682 2687, and that's a WhatsApp number. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I will take you into the presentation proper at this moment. I will take you to the presentation proper at this moment, and I'd like you to go ahead. Please go ahead. Continue to hit your share button. You can find on your screen right now the subject of this presentation. The subject of this presentation. So please, as I bring it to you, again, these are two very, very critical subjects, and we would love you to take it very, very seriously. And after this, I will open the phone lines to take your phone calls. Again, good evening, and fellow Ambazonians. About a month ago, the interim government passed an order requesting all Francophones living in our territory and serving French Cameroon interests to vacate all of Ambazonia. The decision wasn't taken frivolously. Lots of consultations and debate were made before arriving at that decision. The most persuasive was the conclusion that the majority of French Cameroon citizens who since migrated into our country since turned into spies for their country since they declared war, and accomplices to the crimes that the leaders of their country continue to perpetrate against our people. The human cruelty, the assassinations, the razing down of towns and villages, the scorched earth policy that has led to thousands of maimings and decapitations have been carried out in our territory, thanks to the intelligence and the collaboration that French Cameroon citizens living among us continue to provide the colonial administrators. Indeed, the covert activities of Francophones in our territory are proving that this war or conflict, contrary to what we knew, isn't any longer between the regime and its leaders in Yaoundé versus us. It is about French Cameroon, the regime, the combination of their leaders plus their citizens versus us. This war is about all that is La République du Cameroon as a country against Ambazonians as a people. It is therefore not an overstatement to state here that every Francophone living in our territory has become a spy, aiding and abetting the genocidal crimes and the untold suffering that La République du Cameroon continues to unleash on our people. Let me bring to you some of the reasons why we arrived at this conclusion. You recall that the first meeting that was called to raise funds to support the war was called by Lele Lafrique, the colonial governor of the Northern Zone. Those in attendance were all Francophones, mostly from the west region of La République, where Lafrique hails from. Millions of CFA francs were raised that night by these Francophone elite, with business magnates like Amour Mezam singularly committing millions to the genocidal cause. In yet another meeting, after momentum on our side began getting very, very hot on La République, that is, after they began to realize we were going to defend ourselves and our territory to a negotiated end only, Lele Lafrique held another meeting. This time, it wasn't a fundraiser. It was a strategic meeting in which Lafrique advised his people, Francophones in Bamenda, to move their families out of Bamenda. Now, a week ago, approximately between March 20th and 30th and March 30th, Lele Lafrique summoned two more meetings with the Francophone community in Bamenda, mostly from the West region, in his own house, not in his office, but in his own house, to tell you about the secrecy of the meeting. In the first meeting, as intelligence sources disclosed to us, the Francophones discussed the one strategy they hope will kill Monday ghost towns and kill our self-defense efforts in the Northern Zone. This is the plot they hatched. They agreed that the Colonial Gendarmerie Legion upstation Bamenda and the army be deployed all over the city of Bamenda to stop and to profile every bike rider they find. The exercise would identify and separate indigenous Ambazonian bike riders from Bamilekis or Francophone bike riders in the city. Once a profiling is done, if the owner is profiled to be Ambazonian, his motorbike is seized. But if he is profiled to be a Francophone, his motorbike is returned without wahala. At the second meeting, which took place around March 30th, still in Lele Lafrique's house, the Francophones in Bamenda, mostly of the Burmese extraction, raised additional funds with which to enforce their plans and to fight Ambazonia restoration forces. Then, on April 4th, Lele Lafrique signed the order setting the operation into motion. He instructed the gendarmes and the military in Bamenda to confiscate and impound all motorbikes belonging to non-Bamilekis in the Northern Zone. So now you can understand why since the beginning of April, the colonial gendarmes and the brutal military descended on the streets of Bamenda and began confiscating motorbikes belonging to indigenous residents of Bamenda, Ambazonians only. Their motorbikes are confiscated and impounded at 2 locations: the Legion in Upstation Bamenda and the council premises downtown Bamenda. At the moment, as I speak, there are 1,500 motorbikes. The number may actually have increased, being that a day has gone by since we got that information. But at the moment, there are 1,500 motorbikes belonging to Ambazonians at the Gendarmerie Legion Upstation in Bamenda, and another 2,000 motorbikes at the council premises downtown Bamenda. But that is not all. We are told that when the motorbikes are confiscated, newer ones among them are separated and sent to Bafusam for sale. Only the much older ones are left behind. Bikers who have trooped to the mayor's premises with money to retrieve or to pay and get back their bikes have returned home empty, as the bikes are nowhere to be found. There are no plans to return the bikes that are left. They plan to bring into Bamenda, listen carefully, into Bamenda bikers from the West region who will be given the bikes to do business in the city of Bamenda. The ultimate goal is to have a motorbike syndicate in the city of Bamenda that is dominated and operated by Francophones only. That is the plot. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said it here again and again, that if we think that French Cameroon annexation and assimilation is a mere dream, and we fail to prosecute this war with all that we have, in the next 15 years to come, should we lose this war, the dominant population in our territory would be Francophones, not Ambazonians. It is happening subtly right before our own eyes. They started by buying all the lands. They planted their agents in the land and survey offices in Boya and in Bamenda. When you go there as an indigent Ambazonian, to have them issue you with a land title, land certificate, you are fooled around until you get frustrated and leave. And while you remain frustrated, they tip their colleagues from their country to go buy the very piece of land. And before you know it, the landlord has sold the plot. To who? To them. All of Upstation Bamenda, Bamendankwe, Maitri Bamenda, all the way to Bambeli is owned by Francophones. And Bali Park, going into Bali, Mbengwe Park, going into Mbengwe, in the northern zone, are all owned by Francophones. Now they want to bring in their children as bikers. They will move in with their wives and give them 10 years. They should be having at least 5 children. There are 3,500 motorbikes at this moment waiting for them at the Gendarmerie and Mayor's office in Bamenda to take the bikes and resume the work. I also gathered just this morning that another plan in the making is for the regime to loan Francophones money to the tune of millions to move into our territory to buy land left behind by Ambazonians displaced and who may never return. Just imagine 3,500 Francophones descending on Bamenda alone to take over the motorbike trade. Imagine, each of them has a family of 5. In 10 years, multiply the figure. That gives you 17,500 additional francophones. And in another 10 years, make it 20. You have maybe another 17,500. Now think of the multiplication effect. And your guess is as good as mine. Presently, there are over 150,000 francophones in the city of Bamenda alone. Do the math. For the next 20 years, with this population, and you realize what I'm talking about. The same schemings are being perpetrated in the southern zone. The stretch of real estate from Fiango through to Kumba Manfe is owned by francophones. The land in Boya, Victoria, Moya, Ekona is all owned by francophones. Tombel is owned by francophones. Why some of them have triple plots of land? Our own people. Our people. The real indigents live and die in frustration just to acquire a single plot of land. Nobody wants to issue them land certificates. Only francophones are issued land certificates. This is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, we call this war an existential threat. This war isn't a joke. This war will make us or mar us. This war will forever decide what becomes of the identity and heritage of us all. Fellow Ambazonians, we are pleading to you, let's come together like one man, and fight this war once and for all and take back what belongs to us. If we surrender, it will let this opportunity to pass us by. Boya and Victoria will become an extension, ladies and gentlemen. They will become a suburb to Douala, and Bamenda becomes an extension of Mbunda. I am glad I am not the only one reminding you of this. Their own president, Paul Biya, used his own mouth to confess it in Paris. He said their plan from the beginning, from the onset, was to assimilate and annihilate us. That is, to get rid of us and everything unique about our being and our heritage. This generation of Southern Cameroonians, if we allow it to happen under our watch, then our forefathers, whom we blame for the present predicament, would have become saints. Absolutely. Foncha becomes a saint. Muna becomes a saint. As far as the motorbike situation in Bamenda is concerned, if all, and I mean all of the motorbikes are not returned to their rightful owners, going forward, every person found riding a motorbike in Bamenda shall be considered a francophone spy brought in to spy on Ambazonia. And they shall be arrested and treated as such. But more importantly, more seriously, the interim government of Ambazonia demands that Lele Lafrique orders with immediate effect, the release of all the motorbikes within 3 days, beginning today, Friday, April the 10th. Failing that, every francophone business all over the northern zone will be identified and visited. If Ambazonians are not allowed to earn a living in their own homeland, francophones, immigrants, must not be allowed to run or operate a single shop in any community in the northern zone. And if need be, the southern zone will have to fraternize with the northern zone. And that is it about the plot in Bamenda. And now, to this so-called reconstruction issue, fellow Ambazonians. We do not know what and where La République du Cameroon hopes to carry out this reconstruction. We do not know where they hope to stand to do or carry out the reconstruction. This is a child's play, essentially. And to tell you that the whole thing is a sham and a fraud concocted by the regime to raise just more money from the international community, to raise more money for the war. Else, we forget. This isn't the first reconstruction announcement that we have heard. You will recall that only last year, the errand boy of the regime, Paul Atanganji, announced a similar project. They launched a public collection of funds with which he bought a few sheets of zinc and handed to some selected actors in the governor's offices in the northern zone and southern zone before the cameras. It ended there. That was the last we saw of it. I can assure you that it is exactly what we are going to see in this new project. A few selected individuals will be staged and shown to be receiving reconstruction packages. And of course, before you know, the thing will be over. Who does reconstruction, by the way, in the midst of war? Who does that? Which reconstruction does the regime want to engage in when it has never admitted in the first place that it destroyed anything? The world has been told again and again how disciplined and how responsible their soldiers have conducted themselves during these wars. That all the schools, they have said all the schools, the hospitals and private property burned down was carried out by separatists. If separatists actually did orchestrate those atrocities, why not wait then for the war to be over, when separatists are probably no longer there to cause further damage before carrying out the reconstruction? Why not wait? That you choose to want to carry out reconstruction in the midst of war, while the separatists are still there, is enough vindication, ladies and gentlemen, that separatists, as they like to call them, are rather the ones who have constrained and conducted themselves most professionally in the course of this war. They did not carry out the destruction French Cameroon soldiers did. The message to Ambazonians from this interim government about this so-called reconstruction project, reconstruction thing, is not to be stressed at all about it. The war isn't lost, as some may be thinking. La République is merely grandstanding. That government has no plans to rebuild anything. What they are doing is politics, to camouflage the international community that things are back to normal and that they are in control. Reconstruction at the end of any conflict starts with the making of a full inventory of the individuals and property involved. When and where did La République du Cameroon carry out this inventory before launching a reconstruction? When did they do that? I bring you the case of Burundi. The reconstruction project in Burundi after their war. The first step is to take a census of the people locally. I mean, locality by locality or village by village. This is a painful and time-consuming exercise. The commission involved has to get this information by all means. It is not enough to visit a village because at this stage, most inhabitants might be displaced and living even far away from their original homes. For example, presently, if you go to a corner, Kwa Omonyenge, you might not find anybody. The census and inventory gathered should help know not just the number of houses, but sizes, room space to be built. Why a family of 3 or 4 might need 2 or 3 bedrooms, that of 6 or more will need more space. You cannot just build 2 bedrooms units, for example, for everyone. The second phase is to replan the entire area. Most of the communities that have been destroyed were not originally planned by trained town planners. Most boundaries that separated properties have disappeared also. In the case of Burundi, for example, each village was replanned with building plots properly marked with boundary pillars. Occupants were later given land certificates over the respective plots assigned to them. Like most properly planned areas, public water points were clearly provided, or at least indicated. It is only after this background work that the reconstruction, ladies and gentlemen, can take place or can start. Or if money is given to the persons directly, or by a low-cost housing construction company hired either by the government or NGO or the agreed funding agency. The last phase is for the residents to take control after the construction. In this last phase, each family is given a minimum financial package to help them start their lives all over again. The package varies depending upon family size. In the case of Burundi, between 2003 and 2004, the reconstruction was largely funded by United Nations agencies through affiliated NGOs. When we talk on reconstruction in Amazonia, we have to remember that hundreds of villages have been decimated, with thousands displaced or even dead. To replicate the above exercise in each decimated village is going to be a very, very difficult job, even for a properly vetted, trained, and equipped NGO. It is going to take huge sums of money, not the peanut sums being paraded by the regime just to secure selfish political gains. Also remember that the regime has never admitted destroying anything, and so, officially, they have no responsibility rebuilding what they are not responsible for destroying. Most importantly, reconstruction is done after, not during war. Ambazonians should be discouraged from the temptation of going for anything, going for peanuts from the regime, just to deceive the international community that they are in control. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Cameroon's attempt to once more deceive our people with talks of reconstruction obliges us to remind ourselves why we are fighting this war. We are not fighting for reconstruction. We are not fighting to be taken care of by Cameroon. We are not fighting to be eternally babysitted by Cameroon. We are fighting to own our own lives and to determine our own fate, and not to be slaves to colonial Cameroon. We are fighting to take our country back from Cameroon. We are fighting to decolonize the southern Cameroons. We are fighting to end the annexation of the southern Cameroons by the Republic of Cameroon. An annexation they started in 1961. Reconstruction or no reconstruction, ladies and gentlemen, the answer to colonization is not reconstruction. The answer to colonization throughout history has been decolonization. Cameroon cannot deceive us once more with its reconstruction, so-called. Cameroon reconstruction is like building a fence to put its animals. It doesn't make the animals better. It only gives the master better control. The colonial regime can build you houses and even skyscrapers. You may sing its praises, but it will still have the right of life and death over you. It will still impose its French language on you. It will still impose its colonial administrators on you. It will still impose its alien laws on you. It will still control our territory, control our resources, control our minds. It will impose its magistrates and teachers on us. It will still seek to completely destroy our identity and our culture. It will still seek to dissolve the 2 cubes of sugar into its Grand Cameroon. You will still complain about everything that we had been complaining since they annexed our territory. And do you know what? They will make us eat their shit after this war of independence. If we give off midway. That is simply out of question. Giving up is out of question. Buildings and construction do not change human character and do not change the colonial relationship. We have no option. Again, we have no option but to continue the resistance until we get to Boya, our own capital. Cameroon has a duty to pay damages for its crimes and destruction in the southern Cameroons. Let it reconstruct and construct. That will not also change our position to be free people and owners of our own life, our own destiny, and of course, our own country. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the presentation, and that is all that I have for you today. I will now take the next 30 minutes or so to take a few questions from you. You already have the number out there. Let me see if I have the number here to put it on your screen. You can go ahead and call. You can go ahead to call if you have any question, but that is the resolve, ladies and gentlemen, that is the resolve. The position of this interim government as far as this so-called reconstruction thing by French Cameroon is concerned. We are pleading with them. If they really mean business, let them set their foot and lay any foundation, try to lay any foundation in Ambazonia. Let's see where they're going to stand. Let me go to the first caller here. I hope they can get as many calls from ground zero as possible. Good, the first caller from ground zero. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello. Okay, that's a bad connection. Let's take the next caller. I lost that. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, when you call, before you call, make sure that the volume of your set is shut down. before you call, make sure the volume of the set you are listening from is shut down, turned down, as I will not be able to take your call. All right. Okay, Ground Zero is alive. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you turn down the volume of your set, please? And focus on your phone. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
Okay. All right. What is your comment? What is your question?
I'm calling from the Northern Zone.
Thank you. What is your question?
My question, I wish to ask, how are things moving? The COVID-19, the lockdown that was announced. Nothing has been observed, so I don't actually know whether you people also heard about the lockdown as you people call for the lockdown. It was not fully respected.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me answer your question first. Yes, the caller is asking what about the lockdown that we announced towards COVID-19. Many people misunderstood what we said. We said the borders are locked down or should be locked down. He is right. Many people are still going through those borders to and from La Republic. There is nothing that we can do if people choose to risk their own lives. I listened to an audio the other day, passengers complaining they went to, was it Douala or Boya, where they went to, Victoria, they went to, the fares were hiked to 7,000 each person because the reason was they wanted to space out the passengers in the vehicle, but at the end of the day, they overloaded the vehicle. The question is, what were you doing in there in the first place? You were asked to stay home. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we pass out certain instructions, it is not every injunction that will pass that some people will respect it or will be enforced. This thing is about you. It is not about the interim government. It is about your own safety, your own health. So if you think that you will not respect it, you blame yourself. You blame yourself. This thing was about you. It's about you. It's not about anybody. If you choose to stay home, no transportation will move. That's simple. Thank you. All right. Let me take the next caller. All right. Ground Zero. This seemed to be a bad connection. Sorry about that. All right. So please go ahead and call. Let me have the number on your screen. You got the number on your screen. And for ABC Amba Club members, you can text me your number to be added into the ABC Amba Club using the number that you find on your screen. Text me using the number you find on your screen with your own number so you can be added in the group, in the club. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon or good evening.
Good evening, Secretary Chris. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Germany. Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm just very much concerned about these people in the northern zone, the Francophones coming to take the place of our people in the northern zone. I think we should stop talking about it and actually take action.
Yes.
And get them out. This is very dangerous. They are going to destroy our people in the future. We must do something now instead of just talking about it. We should get them out immediately.
Well, doing something about it is about all of us and those on Ground Zero also. We have to raise enough funds to equip the restoration forces to carry out the action we need them to carry out. They cannot go out empty-handed to do anything. And that is the reason why we keep on saying to every Ambazonian out there, especially in Europe, USA, Canada, to please identify your county, your local government. Pay your CID dues. There is no way we are going to survive this war if we don't have money. That is a fact. That is a reality. We cannot be asking, I'm coming back to you, we cannot be asking our boys to go out and risk their lives without putting the right equipment into their hands. I am pleading, ladies and gentlemen, please, let us all be evangelists. You know anybody out there who has not registered for the CID, please let us all go out and plead with them to do so. If we lost this war, if we give up this war, you know the consequences. All right, sir. Yeah, thanks for the call. Continue.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Please, can you turn down the volume of your set and focus on your phone, please?
Yes, Secretary Chris, it's turned down.
All right. Where are you calling from, sir?
Yes, I'm calling from UAE.
UAE. Okay. And what is your question or contribution?
I just want to appreciate you, Secretary Chris, because each time you are speaking, I'm seeing Boya in my presence. So I want to say, may God continue to strengthen you. We need people like you.
Well, there are very many people like me who are in the background. You don't see them because they are not on TV. I'm the only one on TV, right? Hello? I think I lost that call. Hello? Okay, the network, bad networks. Sorry about that. All right, so United Kingdom. Hello.
Sorry about that.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. May I know who is speaking?
I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Okay, and what is the question or the contribution, please?
My contribution is on about the face mask, like what our people should know, what Ambazonians should know is they shouldn't use surgical face mask unless they have the money to be buying it every now and then, because surgical face masks are supposed to be disposable after a certain hour. So if they could get hold of cotton materials to make their own face mask, it will be economical for them, which if they have 2 or 3, they can wash it, disinfect it, and then iron it and reuse it. Because what is going on, they use one face mask over and over, and which is a surgical mask, and they can be more infected with that. So because of finances, it will be better for them to make their own mask, but they should make sure they use the cotton materials to make their mask, and they can wash it, disinfect it, and reuse it.
All
That's
right.
my contribution.
Thank you very much for that. I hope ground 1 and ground 0, they listen to you. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me know. See where this other call is coming from. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ground Zero, K-Town.
K-Town. How was K-Town today? Friday, Easter Friday.
No, In fact, it was okay. Everything was okay.
All right, all right.
I have contribution to make.
All right.
Yeah, we were told last time that they were going to be locked down at the borders.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, we have not. Kumba to Manfred has been blocked for the past 2 weeks, which is an intertown road.
Who blocked the road, Manfred Kumba?
Our boys.
Okay.
For the past 2 weeks, the roads have been blocked. So circulation has not been easy. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think I took that question, I answered that question from the very onset when I opened the phone lines. We will find out why Kumba Manfred is shut down. We didn't ask for that to be done. We asked for Nigeria, a cop shut down. We asked for Tiko Douala shut down. I'm sorry?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the call. Okay. Let me see. Ground zero. Hello. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, again, before you call, turn down the volume of your set. Before you call, turn down the volume of your set. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Secretary Chris. This is Lum calling.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. Thanks for the call. And what is your question or contribution?
Yeah. In connection with what is the Francophones that are occupying the territory, I'm really for it, but I need. It would be nice for all the 13 county heads to be able to disseminate this information, because when the information doesn't go between county by county, because they are the one who know who is a Francophone in their territory, so that will foster them to remove them. I am already doing my contribution, and I think this is the biggest move that we have. Thank you very much for all that you are doing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I truly appreciate it, and I want to hope that our country administrators, they are watching, they are listening, and they will take care of their territories. We asked Francophones to leave. It was their place to enforce that rule using the powers they have at their disposal in their counties. But I think that is still very, very much lacking. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I call for Northern Zone.
Okay, how for Northern Zone? How are you day today?
Well, all things they fine, but I just want for confirm for that talk where you don't talk, say the French people, they try to take all business them for inside Amba land.
Okay.
Now, it's truth, because right now as we talk, we don't gather some information around. The big company, they call them MTN.
Yes.
They don't move all Amazonia them, where they begin business with them, push all them, go say they sell all the phone when. Gather all the business, give them for one by man. We know even for the Bamenda idea Nadwala. Me, it take the whole mangon. So any
the Bamleke man take the whole mangon.
Yeah, any Amazonia waiting for that place, any transaction, the money will go now for that Bamileke man, we know for the station for Bamenda. So when that way they talk to Francophone them, they plan that they use big company, all kind of thing, anything where any business where Amazonia they do with them, they either take the 80% share, give them for Francophone man. Then me and Bazonia then share 20%. So now the game that way in the past,
and it happen right now.
Well,
so,
I hope say Ambazonians, they hear you and they hear me.
Yeah, yeah. And we would also talk. May we beg you for ABC. May we try for call the people for MT and say that kind of discrimination, fine for a company like that for to do that kind of work, for the take away different people don't work.
How many phone? Hold on. How many phone providers you have for Bamenda? I know there is Orange, there is MTN, and which one?
There is. Yeah, you get Orange, you get MTN, you get Nextel, you get Camtel, but the people where they're very scrupulous inside these fake manipulation tricks, now people like MTN. They're the first, like right now, we just see call about them. She don't always call about them. We don't look number them. They tell we now say we must work now for this particular man. Therefore, you know if you choose customer. Now where you buy for you. Now them they decide customer where you go buy for you. And they don't take the whole Mancon. Imagine if the fee come, Bamenda that be divided between Mancon and Quen. If the fee come, people they enter business like 20. They take the whole Mancon game for one man. It shows that the other people go sell for outside.
Now, I have also received some messages forwarded to me from cell phone customers. I don't know whether those messages are coming from MTN or they are coming from all the providers, and the messages are warning people to stop posting anything on the social media that they risk jail terms of up to 6 months or 1 year or 5 years or so. Which company is doing that?
It's true, definitely. Mostly, MTN get the giant network now. They mostly forward all messages.
Okay.
Now MTN be at the rim for forward all those messages.
What kind of, if I may ask you, I don't know whether you have any idea, what kind of infrastructure, physical infrastructure does the MTN has in Bamenda?
They get all of their pile on them, their pile on them, their antenna, the way they hang their dishing them for the. Now the only infrastructure they get them. Other
phone providers like Orange and Camtel and so on. Do they use the same? Do they use the same antenna or they use different antennas?
No, they use different antenna. MTN get their own antenna. Nextel get your own antenna. Will be different from MTN. Orange get your own. They be different from MTN. Though for some particular side, they use the same antenna them, but mostly MTN. Their antenna fee be easily identify, and most of our boys they know. They feel easily know which antenna be MTN and which one will be MTN.
All right. Thank you very much for the information. You guys remain safe and let's continue the fight, okay? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are hearing that from Ground Zero. There is a gradual but sure assimilation of us as it has always been their plans. Please let us support our boys, support your local government, support your county, pay your citizenship dues. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, ma'am. Where are you calling from, please? Good evening. Where are you calling in from?
Sister Divine is calling from Ground Zero.
Okay. I hope we have a good connection.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing. Go ahead, please. I'm hearing you.
I wish to ask, before you started, I came late, but I wish to ask, since we are asking a Francophone to leave our region. So I wish to ask those our brothers who are in Francophone zone, what are they going to do with them, or what are we going to do? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the short question. For our brothers, as she asked, our families living in the across the Mongo anyway in La République du Cameroon. It is their choice to be there. They are free to come back to the country. In fact, left to me, I would say every one of them should return home. So if they stay over there, is their problem. If there is a civil conflict on that side and they get affected, it is their problem. They should come back home. Okay, let me see where the next call is coming from. Ground Zero, awesome. Hello. 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 Please, can you turn down the volume of your television before you call back? I will drop your phone. Can you turn down the volume of your set and call back? Thank you. Hello, sir.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. I know you are calling somewhere from somewhere around. Is this Switzerland or Netherlands or where?
Yeah, from Switzerland, sir.
Okay, I'm beginning to... Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that we've lost so many momentum in this revolution because it all started with the wrong foot. Because when we look at people like Bala, if you look at if we can look at people like Tapang, who said in one of his videos that we should write an apology letter to Pia, and the other guy, the co-president of Tapang, I don't even remember his name, who said Amazon is a lie. They have caused us to most of us to lose focus in this revolution.
You are very, very correct, sir. Hold on. You are very, very correct. However, I really don't want us to go back relitigating the past.
No,
I think.
Yeah,
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is, I appreciate that opinion. You are very much correct. I want to suggest that going forward, let us begin to initiate plans that bring people together and avoid all this name calling. They can go ahead and call names. You and me, we have nothing to. We cannot stop them. But you know what?
Yes,
Let's take the high road. Why they go low? Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, yes, okay. Now, it is a blessing to have you seated there, and Dr. Sako, because it is only from you that we really understood what this revolution was all about. It is only from you that we are really fighting the real fight, because the DOD and all those stuff, they were just scammers. So I'm just pleading. I'm just because we cannot get all of these so-called leaders together. They are after their personal interests. They are after their group interests. How can we build this county by county, LG by LG, stronger than any other group? That is our winning point.
Correct, sir. You are very right.
Lost focus on that.
Right.
This revolution is bound to fail.
Thank you.
This is what I want to say. Any person who is contributing for the AGC or for the APL or whatsoever, he should know that he is killing us. He or she is paying for a death. We have to let go these leaders. They have been there for 30 years, and we are all singing for Bobia to leave when we have leaders who are there for 30 years with no result. Let's forget about these groups and focus on our county by county.
Thank you.
I'm sick, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, county by county is the key, is the way to go. And I see some people holding meetings out there, so-called town hall meetings out there, grumbling about this, grumbling about that, and all they care about is leadership, power. And so they grandstand. If power is not in their hands, then nothing from their point of view is going right in the revolution. This county by county has saved this revolution. And I continue to say, will continue to say, you really want to fight for Ambazonia? Please get out there. Stop grumbling. Look for your county. Seek leadership. Seek a position in your county, in your LGA. We are building this thing from a bottom-up approach. So, that's what I would tell you. If you're waiting for the interim government to die, I'm sorry, your obituary may be said before that of this interim government. All right. All right, ground zero. Hello. Hello, your voice. Okay, all right. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know what part of ground zero you are calling from, please? Hello. Well, that's a bad connection there. It's a bad connection. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Secretary, please.
Hello, sir. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Stuttgart, Germany.
Stuttgart, Germany. Thanks for the call, sir. What is your question or your contribution?
Yes, Secretary, I have two very, very important worries.
Okay.
That I've always felt like presenting to you and to the people of Ambazonia. We have been with the struggle for a very long time, and first of all, one of my very, very big concern is school resumption. We all know that the interim government and the people of Ambazonia are not against school resumption, but because of insecurity reasons, we have been for the fact that schools should not open their doors. But gradually, Secretary, a lot of schools are gradually opening their doors without permissions or without a lot of considerations. So what my problem now is, can we, the people of Ambazonia, try to look for a possibility wherein we can stop all government schools from opening their doors in Ambazonia, then officially give a way for our private schools to go operational?
Well, thank you for that. That's a great question. I think it is something that the county leadership has to look into alongside the cabinet. So it's not something I sit here and give you an answer, but I think and I hope the county leadership listens to you, and the interim government listens to you and deliberate over it and bring answers.
Then lastly, my very second worry is the impact of our brothers and sisters in La Republique is going to cause us a very, very big negative impact on the struggle. Why do I say so? Because in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from today, those our brothers who are in La Republique of Cameroon will be francophonized, and we know the impact of francophone dominations on the Amazonia. Most of our brothers too have equally traveled out of Amazonia because of refuge out of La Republique. Some are in the west, some are in Grand 1, Grand 2, and things like that. The interim government and the people of Amazonia need to start looking for a very big way out for our brothers to come back home. And one of the ways in which they can come back home is to come back for these school resumptions. We should open our doors to our brothers and sisters in La Republique for studies to come back and school. And from then, the local government and things like that can subsidize studies. For if we allow them to be there, Secretary, the truth about it is that we are going to have a negative impact on the struggle that will slow down our pace, or in years to come, they will become millions of black legs in the struggle, wherein we will find difficulties to proceed. This has been my two worries: school resumptions the relationship between school resumption and the impact of our brothers and sisters in that Republic. The
All right.
of Amazonia and the interim government should
All right, I got that. I got that. Thanks for the question. As far as getting our brothers and sisters from across the Congo back home is concerned, you will recall that coming back will not just be that easy. When people have lost homes, they have nowhere to go to. People have lost parents, they have nowhere to go to, nobody to go to. It is not going to be that easy. Yes, if you have schools opening, if you have only private schools running, some of those parents have no living with which to pay school fee in mission schools. So I think it is not the right way to go. Of course, again, we want them to come back home, but not the catch cannot be on the school. It has to be on the conditions on the ground. But if those who can come back should come back. If you can't come back, we understand. But our fears are what may happen in La République du Cameroon that may not make it any more possible for you to return. Okay, let me take a few, maybe 2 more calls and go. Hello, sir or ma'am.
Yeah, I'm calling from the northern zone.
All right, so you all have electricity in the northern zone today?
Well, it is coming and fluctuating. I'm right from Boyo.
Wow, okay. So what is your contribution, sir?
Well, I wish to appreciate the work you people are doing over there. The worry I wish to plead to you people that you people should be updating us here on Ground Zero, how things are moving over there and how the revolution is moving. As far as this illness outside, I think things are really going slowly. So at any moment we need to be updated so that at any time you can come and update us with what is happening around.
All right. All right.
The revolution is good.
All right.
So that's what I have. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. I hear you. We will do our best. We will do our best to bring you updates on a regular basis here on ABC. Thanks for the call. Hello. Hello. This is a bad connection. This, I don't know whether it's a lady, has been trying to call again and again. Unfortunately, I think she doesn't have a good connection. All right. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, ma'am. May I know where you are calling in from, please? I guess you are calling from Europe. Where precisely?
Yeah, it's Annie de Paris.
Who is that?
I'm calling Annie de Paris.
Amy de Paris. Okay, all right. I have not heard that name before. I thought you said Willie de Paris.
No, it's Annie de Paris.
Amy de Paris. Okay, so you're calling from Paris?
That's right, sir.
Thanks for the call. What is your contribution or question?
Yeah, my problem is when they are saying that these francophones they should leave our land. That's my main problem. Why? Because we just generalize it. We don't know that there are certain francophones that have lost almost everything from the beginning of this war. I'm saying so because I can testify. I know of a certain family. We grow together.
Let me cut you short there. Let me cut you short there. I think you did not understand us. If you listen to me, I stated very clearly in an audio in the past and even today that francophones serving French Cameroon interests in our territory. What does that mean? It means if you are found to be a spy in our territory, you are francophone, and it doesn't matter if you have been there for the past 70 years. If you are caught serving French Cameroon interests, you will go. If you are caught spying on Ambazonia, you will go. All those francophones up station Bamenda, those are the people we are talking about. We didn't say people in Bawa should go. We didn't say people in Awusa Quarter, maybe who came from Chang, should go. We are saying those of them who are spies and traitors, enablers among us. Does that make sense?
No, yes, I understand you very well. This is a situation is happening precisely in Fako.
Okay.
I'm saying so because right now they have sent away a certain person who has been supporting this struggle. I know that very well. He has been in support of the struggle since from day one. Today they have sent him away from his farm. So there's nothing. He's very desperate. And this call for concern. So I don't know if you can do something about that, sir. They
sent him to where?
They say he shouldn't come again to his farm. So, you know, since the whole of Fako, this is precisely in Munyenge. If you know it very well, it is in Munyenge. Everybody's there is a farmer.
Right.
So he doesn't have right again to work. He too is in an internally displaced. Now they don't want him to work again in his cocoa farm. And this is a period that people, they work on their cocoa farm to prepare for their harvest next year. So it's really a problem, sir. I don't know if you can call on the people back there to really put them in order, because it's a disturbing situation.
Well, we need to look at that case by case because we do not know some of these people. If you send me information, then I can give it to the appropriate quarters to look into the case. So if you can do that, that would be great.
Thank you, sir. Okay, after your show, I will get back to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
All right. I don't accept video calls, so please do not call a video call here. Ground zero. This is a bad network connection, so I can take your calls. Sorry. Not a ground zero. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from ground zero, Ngokotunjia, to be very precise.
Okay. So what is your contribution or question, if any?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, thank you. When we in DOC, Ngokotunjia, when we see you on Amba TV, we have the hope and the courage that our struggle is moving. There's one thing you said concerning we should stop activists to stop talking, calling names. It's very right. And I want to also propose something.
Okay.
Let us focus on only our local government or our counties and see how the next year, where will we go with this revolution. All those groups or any individual, today is the dark, tomorrow is the this. Where are all this money going to? Money that you give to an individual and money that you give to a government or a group of people. Which one can easily be embezzled between those two funds?
No, listen. Hold on there. You make a lot of sense, a whole lot of sense. I have been asking, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. When you give money, when you make donations to the interim government, you can call the interim government to account for your money. The interim government can bring in auditors to audit their accounts. But when a few other so-called leaders gang themselves together and collect money from you, to who are they accounting for those funds? County by county, local government, you give money to your county, to your local government, you have the right to go back to them and ask for accountability. I had a lady who called me the other day and said, I am no longer giving a dime to my county because they took the money that were raised and they sent it to some people somewhere that you just will not believe it. And she said, I'm not giving them any money. That's where they are sending the money. That is what democracy is all about, accountability.
That's exactly my point, Secretary Chris. That's exactly my point. Because if I give my money, for example, to my county, and the chairman of the county doesn't make good use of my money or give it to the boys, buy stick for the boys, I also have the right to call the interim government, as I'm calling directly like this, to complain.
Right.
You will have to call the chairman and ask what is going on. But if I take my money and give to a particular group or to an individual that a set of people are manipulating, if they misuse the money, who will I go to cry? So Ambazonians should open their minds and know we are the one delaying this struggle. If we see go to our county, our local government, even if it is 1,000 francs or whatsoever, even those in ground zero, we put it there, we will see the result, because we've seen what the interim government has been doing for the past years. This struggle have moved a lot of steps.
All right. Thank you. That was a wonderful contribution. I appreciate that. Thank you. I will take 2 more calls and I will leave. And ground zero just keep on calling and calling. This is wonderful. Hello. Hello. Well, I'm sorry this guy has been trying to call again and again, but each time it's a bad connection. Hello. This is yet another bad connection. All right, I will end the calls. But I'm not leaving yet. Let me see. I can look at a few messages that people have sent in here. This person is sending this message from ground zero. The name is not there, but he says, please, there is nothing as Francophones who serve La République du Cameroon interests or whatever. All Francophones must go. Do not start weakening our efforts. Where? All Francophones must go who serve French Cameroon interests. We will allow sleeping dogs to lie where they have to lie. Thank you. Let me see if some other messages here. Somebody writes, this is from London. Chris, I do not really support the departure of all Francophones. So sorry I could not reach you, but all La République citizens must go, no exception. Well, this is the same person giving 2 opinions. Okay, let me see who else with a message. This is who? This is somebody from ground zero. I agree with the last caller, Secretary Chris. Sir, more grace. I desire to support my county, but I don't know how to do it. And the county is Indu. The county is Indu. I desire to support my county, but I don't know how to do it. May God continue to be with you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And another person from Amba land said, we have reliable information that France occupational forces entered Ambazonia with military gadgets and sniffing dogs in disguise as coronavirus logistics. Are you hearing that? We have reliable information that French occupational forces entered Ambazonia with military gadgets and sniffing dogs in disguise as coronavirus logistics. Yesterday in Womb, they already crushed a lot of people in Modele around Womb. Our restoration forces need to be on the alert. This is sad that during such difficult moments, the French Cameroon army continues the genocide on our people. Yes, you are very correct, and let me tell you something. That is the reason why this interim government choose not to go for or call for any ceasefire, because we know how crafty and whimsical La République du Cameroon is. You call for a ceasefire, they will put on doctors' uniforms and put guns in their pocket and go and still kill people. That is exactly who they are. And that's what they are trying to do according to your message here. No ceasefire until negotiations, until independence. All right, so let me see. If there are other messages. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it a day. I am going to call it a day now. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And again, I would like to plead with you. I would like to plead with you. There is no reason for which we will give up this war unless there is no funding. I'm really appealing to you on behalf of those boys who have put their lives on the front lines on ground zero fighting to liberate our country. Without funds, we cannot support them. They cannot fight. Please, if you are concerned about this Francophone thing, if you are concerned that they are slowly taking over our country, then you got to do something. If you don't do anything, then don't lament. Do not lament. We got to do something. Give your widow's mite. Please. That is the only thing we got to do, especially all of us here in the diaspora. Support your county and pay your CID. The website is cid.ambacitizens.com. cid.ambacitizens.com. Get there, enroll, pay your CID. You can pay $10, $20 a month. I don't think that is so much for anyone living in the diaspora and having a job.